Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be presenting the impact of social media on the youth well-being. Alfredo Salazar will be starting. He will be presenting the negative impact on social media on the youth well-being.
The impact that social media has on young people is a complicated issue that has to be taken seriously. Social media offers a virtual way for communication, self-expression, and information access. On the other hand, it functions as a virtual meeting place for young people to exchange ideas, creativity, and lives. The growing popularity of social media, however, also brings its problems that may have a negative impact on young people's well-being. One significant effect is the rise of cyberbullying, an alarming trend in which people experience abuse, humiliation, and rejection on the internet. Among young users, constant comparing is built through online personas, which can result in low self-esteem and the feeling of failure. Furthermore, there are the worries regarding screen time and the possible effects on mental health, sleep patterns, and the general well-being due to addictive features that social media brings to the platforms, which are meant to be there, such as TikTok. Scrolling is to keep users engaged. The impression of unrealistic goals can be caused by the pressure to live up to ideals and standards pushed by society today on social media platforms. Anxiety, problems with appearance, and the need to find approval from other people online are some other ways that this pressure might show up. Furthermore, the quick spread of information on social media, whether this is being true or false, can spread really quick and can affect the viewpoints of people and ultimately affect young people's mental and emotional development. It is important that this topic is addressed by encouraging mental toughness, digital knowledge, and ethical online conduct. Giving advice on how to use social media responsibly, identifying potential threats, and promoting open discussions about the topic of social media's impact online, and can enable young people to take advantage of the benefits of social media while also reducing the negative aspects. A generation that can safely and efficiently manage the digital landscape is being shaped by adults who can play a critical role in this process by pushing and balancing and informing this approach.
Next, we have Denise Moreno discussing the positive impact.
Hello, today I'll be discussing social media effects on youth by cyberbullying. Social media platforms provide a platform for individuals to anonymously harass and bully others. This can have severe physiological effects on young people, leading to low self-esteem, depression, and even suicide. This can also cause addiction. Social media can be highly addictive, leading to excessive screen time and neglect of other important activities such as studying, physical exercise, and face-to-face social interactions. This can negatively impact academic performance and overall well-being. There's unrealistic expectations what social media often portrays an idealized version of people's lives, leading young people to compare themselves to others and feel insecure. This can contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression, even sleep disturbances. By the use of social media before bedtime can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to sleep deprivation. This can negatively impact academic performance, mood, and overall health. There is privacy concerns. Young people often show personal information and photos on social media without fully understanding the potential consequences. This can lead to privacy breaches, identify theft, and online predators targeting vulnerable individuals. Decreased physical activity. Spending excessive time on social media can lead to another lifestyle, reducing physical activity levels. This can contribute to obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and other health issues. Distorted precipitation of reality. Social media can create a distorted precipitation of reality as individuals often only share the highlights of their lives. This can lead young people to believe that everyone is happier, more successful, and more popular than they are, leading feelings of loneliness and fear of their future. Decreased social skills. Spending excessive time on social media can reduce face-to-face social interactions, leading to a decline in social skills. This can make it difficult for young people to form meaningful relationships and navigate real-life social situations. Academic distractions. Social media can be a major distraction for young people, leading to decreased focus and productivity. This can negatively impact academic performance and hinder learning. Exposure to inappropriate content. Social media platforms can expose young people to inappropriate and harmful content such as violence, pornography, and hate speech. This can have a bad effect on their mental health and emotional well-being.
Now we have Isaac Vasquez. He will be presenting the psychological effects of social media on the youth individuals.
Social media impacts young individuals as a relevant way by showing young individuals different type of realities that other people have, and they tend to compare themselves or give themselves the same results that that person they watched or looked at on social media. And if things don't really go end up their way, they could cause anxiety or depression, and long-term effects as well is that when they're looking at, for example, their role model, they're not really creating their own story. They're just following somebody else's lead, and they're basically living somebody else's lives instead of their own. And being on social media can be addictive to a lot of young adults, where they see these things and likes, and they start posting a lot, and they need that instant gratification where they start posting and they need these likes and they want to be accepted. And this could lead to a lot of bad things as well, because they're gonna always have to be accepted and liked and wanted by other people, which can affect their mental health and their well-being. And another important thing to talk about on social media is that cyberbullying is really bad for a lot of young adults that are on social media, because they're on their phone, they're on their laptop, whatever technology device they're using. They start getting bullied behind a screen, and it's different from in person. And so the screen is basically hurting themselves, and that could lead to a lot of people suicides and depression and anxiety as well. But on a positive note, social media could be a good thing, where it gives positivity to a lot of young adults, a lot of motivation, and a lot of resources for them to use online. And the thing about that as well is that kids or young adults' brains are really not fully developed, and so it just becomes a habit where they start getting on social media, they start getting online, and it's like brushing your teeth every day. It starts becoming a habit where you're on your phone, you're using it, and you need it almost, it feels like. And the thing is that it just depends on how the parents monitor these young kids on their screen time so they can get back into reality.
Sarah Lena will now be contributing the thoughts on the positive and negative aspects on social media influence.
So, since we currently live in a digital age, anyone has access to all sorts of things through the internet, including the youth. Some negative effects of social media on the youth are that scrolling through feeds can become a compulsive addiction. When these teenagers and children scroll through feeds such as Instagram and Twitter, switching between content so quickly, the brain gets a hit of dopamine each time, creating a sort of neurological high. It's that rush that keeps you scrolling through the content. It's the same as any addiction. It can be drugs, alcohol, or slot machines. Another negative effect is that social media can fuel unhealthy comparisons. Research suggests that using social media for social comparisons related to physical appearances can create poor body image, eating disorders, and depressive symptoms, particularly amongst these young girls. When they go online and they see these influencers posting heavily edited photos of their body, and they see these guys in their comments saying how like, oh, she's so beautiful, you're the most beautiful girl I've seen. They also want to look like that to get attention from these guys, but forget the fact that those influencers are like 25 years old, and that photo is heavily edited, and also they've had work done to their body. Also, social media can expose young people to inappropriate content. So I've actually seen this before when, like, with my cousin. So, when these children go online and they download these games without, like, asking their parents, they just download games that they see and on these ads while they're playing. Sometimes, like, inappropriate content, like, pops up. It's like a link. It's like, oh, play this game. And it's, like, for adults, not for children. But they decide to click on it because they're curious. And then once they click on it, now they're exposed to all sorts of inappropriate content. Also, because of social media, these children have shorter attention spans. In the past, the average reading time was 24 minutes, but now in the present, because of Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, the average reading time is only 7 minutes. And that's because people are so used to seeing like a 15-second video and scrolling and then forgetting all about it. On the other hand, there are some positive effects of social media on the youth. So social media can be used to express one's emotions. According to a recent report released by Common Sense Media on social media's effects on teens, about half of the 1,500 young people surveyed said social media is very important for them in order to get support and advice, also to feel less alone and to express themselves creatively, as well as for staying in touch with friends and family members. 43% said that using social media makes them feel better when they are depressed, stressed, or anxious. Among LGBTQ youth, 52% said that social media helps them feel better when they are experiencing these difficult emotions. So these kids, these teenagers go online and they share their thoughts and feelings, and instead of being ignored, there's a group of people, like a community, that's experiencing the same issues, and they go and they aid them. So another positive impact of social media on the youth is that creativity can be expressed. Studies show that as a result of forming and expressing, their emotions, these kids, they develop self-awareness and self-knowledge, so that by a young age, because of social media, they know who they are and what they want in life. And lastly, social media can be used to create connections. Social media allows teens to create online identities, communicate with others, and build social networks. These networks can provide teens with valuable support, especially helping those who experience exclusion or have disabilities or chronic illnesses.
And last but not least, we have Marisela Villanueva presenting youth engagement on social media platforms.
It's no surprise that since youth are roaming the internet, there would be some privacy concerns. As the internet evolves, many more tricks and traps are made so impressionable youth can share all their personal information, from fake ads to online hackers to even online friends that they make. In this day and age, it's really no surprise to see teenagers get their information leaked. Some tricks that fake ad creators have come up with to gain access to their teens' information are various amounts of scams. For example, social media scams, online shopping scams, scholarship scams, fake online auctions, student loan scams, and even weight loss scams. Fake ad creators would always find a way to figure out how to easily lead young adults into falling for their traps. They see what's trending on social media and what young teens would want to see and find a way to take advantage of it. These fake ad creators have figured out different methods to easily trick impressionable teens so that they can get a hold of their addresses, full name, and most of the time, bank information. Another thing that often leads young adults into getting their information leaked is online hackers. As unfortunate as it is, it's no surprise to say that these days young adults seem to be careless with all their personal information on social media, which makes it easy for online hackers to make them a target and steal their information. Sometimes, because of how careless these young teens are with their information, online hackers can find various amount of ways to trick them into willingly giving up their info. There are many times where some hackers make fake accounts of their target's family or friends and ask them to give up their info. And because these teens think they're speaking to their family or friends, it's no surprise that they give it up so easily.
These days, hackers are so skilled at what they do that they have managed to find a way to hack into young teens' accounts, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or TikTok. They have found a way to figure out young teens' password and steal their information. For that reason, many platform creators have tried advising and suggesting users to make their passwords more difficult to guess, but teens don't always seem to listen and end up being victims of online hackers. The youth have also made it a custom to meet strangers online and be friends with them, even though as kids they were all told to never talk to strangers. Teens, for some reason, feel that when they meet a person online and become their friends, they can fully trust them. But a lot of the time, these online friends that they make don't always seem to have good intentions. It's not uncommon for teens to be friends with people they've never met on online platforms. Sometimes they get so close with their online friends that they end up sharing their info with their so-called online friends, but those friends could easily just be putting up an act and just befriending them to steal all of their information. As evil and unfortunate as this all sounds, teens getting their privacy and information leaked is something that happens every day. Guardians and parents are always asked to talk to their young kids and teens to teach them and warn them about the dangers of the internet and how they must be smart enough while using the internet so they won't have to pay the price that is their privacy being interfered with.
In conclusion, social media can both be positively connected and negatively impact social well-being, fostering communication, but also contributing to issues like anxiety, depression, and cyberbullying. And balancing its use is essential for overall mental health. I would like to thank you all so much for your interest and attention.